Look at this one. Time limit to notify of death. Hello, everyone. My mom passed away early June. I contacted the person she was using to set up her trust, which she never got to complete, but that's another issue.
Yep,
Her
true.
life
Oh,
is a paperwork mess. If there was a chance that it could be important at any point in her life, she kept it. The person she was setting up the trust with advised me of a life insurance policy as well as an annuity, which I don't know the difference exactly. I found out today that there is a third policy which I contacted and should be getting the packet shortly. My question is there a time limit to apply for the benefits? If I find another policy a year down the road, will it be expired? What happens if someone dies and the company isn't notified for a while?
well, they still get a benefit. What happens, and I've seen this happen, is that if you have a delayed claim filed, the insurance company, the contract was in force, meaning it was paid up or was active. The insurance company will pay the claim. They will also pay you interest on the death benefit amount from date of death until the time they cut a check to the beneficiary.
Okay,
So
another question here was the difference between life insurance and annuity, and I know you know. That's
uh,
for sure.
the difference between life insurance and annuity, life insurance is a death benefit. An annuity is a life insurance contract, but it doesn't have the death benefit. But the annuity has a value. This person had put $10,000 into an annuity, and it was just an interest bearing type of an annuity. The same applies. They'll pay that to the named beneficiary from date of death until the check is cut. They will get interest on the money, and then the money's paid out to the named beneficiary. One thing to keep in mind is that the death benefit on the life insurance contract is typically income tax free, depending upon the annuity. Where if an annuity was put aside for like an IRA or something like that, then whoever the beneficiary is, if it's not a spouse, there will be some taxable consequences. And of course, the IRS would require that they take that money over no longer than a 10-year period. In other words, they're forcing it into the tax system. But if it's just a non-qualified annuity, meaning it was just savings type of an account, they would have to determine, how much growth is there and is it or is it not subject to taxation. So, the key is whoever this person is got to got to do his homework. I mean, like you said, her life is a paperwork mess. He's got to go through her mess, sort of like going through her stuff, and then all of a sudden finding out she's got a savings bond, or you just don't go randomly throwing paper out.
Well, that's definitely a mess worth digging through because even though the paperwork is a mess, it looks like the mom definitely cared in a way.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Sure. And the key is, it's a tough thing for people to do, but you've got to go through and make sure you don't miss anything, because after a while, what happens is the financial institution, whether it's the bank or the insurance companies, each state has laws in place that if they have accounts on record from a person and it has not been active or acted upon or whatever, the bank and financial institution typically will reach out to them by mail, typically
right.
runs something like registered mail. And if they can't get a response, then the financial institution has to notify the state of what they call an unclaimed asset. And then what happens, the state takes the account, and there are websites out there that you can go on and you can put in the person's name, and it'll tell you whether the state you reside in has assets under that person's name or not. Years ago, there was a death in the family where this spinster aunt, never married, lived by herself. Her primary heir was my mother-in-law at the time. Went on this site, found this account. It was a savings account with a bank in a different city. And then there's a process you've got to go through to claim that asset. But they found the money and they had no clue the account existed.
That is crazy, huh?
Oh,
That's insane. being
But
finding it through like that one of those what do you call those? Claim websites or what is
yeah,
it?
it's just like unclaimed assets. And you can do a Google
Crazy.
search. You put your state in, like you can say, North Carolina unclaimed assets, and Google will pull up multiple links. And there's some out there that are very, you know, they're government sponsored, so you're not paying anybody a fee. So you got to be careful with that. But there are public websites out there you can find that information. It exists, but it happens. Like in this guy's case, his mother's got a mess, her paperwork mess. She's probably not thrown out a thing she's had for her last 20 years.
Um, so yeah, for this one, just keep up the work, undo the mess, and pay attention, right?
Yep, exactly.